All righty. I'm going to talk about a scenario that you want to get yourself backed up to prepare yourself for an OS upgrade. Because Sierra's out, and I've had a lot of people lately say to me, oh, I want to upgrade, what do I have to do, this and that sort of thing. And so this is what I do. Do it whatever way works for you. It doesn't matter as long as you do it where you're protecting yourself. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. See how easy that is? All right. Okay. All right. So there's a new release of OS X, and you want to take advantage of it, okay? So you may want to take advantage of the features in that new operating system. You may have applications that you use. You use maybe Adobe Creative Suite, and there's something in there that will work really cool for you, but you can't use it because you don't have Sierra on your machine. Or you're just the sort of person that I just want to upgrade because I want to upgrade. So you need to prepare yourself properly for that. So what do you need to do? So you need to prepare yourself ahead of time so you don't make a mistake. The software upgrade you're doing may have an error, or there may be a bug in it that's going to screw up something that you need to do on a regular basis. And because of that, you want to be prepared for it in case that happens. During the installation itself, you could have a problem. I don't know, your hard drive might have a problem or anything like that. You want to prepare for yourself for that. The applications that you're using after you do your upgrade, you find out, oh, they're not compatible with Sierra. What do I do now? Or if you're like some of the folks I know, they saw that upgrade button on their machine, they said, hit it, and they hadn't checked a thing, and now they're upgraded to Sierra and nothing works. So what do? You want to check your applications. You want to check and make sure that you have the media for all the software that you use on a regular basis. Make sure you have the license for them and you know what those are. And then you want to make sure the hardware requirements that are needed for that particular version of the upgrade. I've got a Mac 2009 at home, an iMac that I'd love to be able to upgrade, but it's just the other side of the line that says you can't do that for Sierra. So you want to make sure all those things are in place before you go punch in that button. Applications check. What are your critical applications? What do you have to have running to do your day-to-day work with your Mac? Number two, does your vendor support the upgrade to Sierra? Because if they don't, there's no need in going there if it's a critical application. Number three, how much time will it take to do that upgrade? And after I do the upgrade, do I have to reinstall the software? And how much time that's going to take? And then number three, what will it cost me to upgrade to this application? Is it going to, I have to buy an upgrade to the software, or will it come to me for free? Will I have to get new hardware for it? Will I need more memory or hard drive space? Those sort of things you want to take into consideration before you do the upgrade. So you're going to check on your media and your licensing. You know, how did you get that software in the first place? Did you download it? Did you buy the media and it's on a CD or DVD? Do I even have those CDs or DVDs? Can I locate them? If I downloaded it, did I save it in a download folder or did I put it on a separate hard drive? I just want to find all my stuff and make sure I got it. Then the licensing. Do I have accurate licensing? Did I upgrade from a previous license? And do I need that upgrade license number instead of the original one? So you want to make sure those are all valid and ready for you to use. And also the last one, does the vendor still support that electronic download? Maybe they're not doing that anymore. And if you can't get the software and you really need it, you got to make sure that you got that in line so you're ready to go. Hardware requirements. You know, will I have to upgrade my Mac in order to be able to take advantage of this new OS? Will I need more memory? Do I need more hard drive space? Does my processor meet the specification for it? And if I do, great. If I don't, then what hardware do I actually need to have to go out and buy? All right. So the steps that you have to prepare for prior to doing that upgrade. Number one, you're going to need, this is my process, okay? You can do whatever process you want, but this is how I do it. I get an external hard drive that's at least as big as the one that's in the computer that I'm upgrading. I always try to get one that's bigger. And that drive should be as fast as the fastest port on my computer. So if I have USB 3.0 on my computer, I'm gonna get a drive that's gonna run USB 3.0 because I wanna get the fastest possible throughput. If I'm using Thunderbolt, I get a Thunderbolt drive, and so on and so on. Drive with multiple connections are even better, because then you have choices on that particular choice. Then I format that hard drive. Now, if it's a hard drive that's bigger than my internal drive, sometimes I'll partition it, so I'll have a partition that's the same size as my internal drive, and then I got that other space to play around with if I want to use it. And just make sure that that drive matches the I/O ports that you have on your machine. So if you have Thunderbolt, or USB, or whichever one, or even the old FireWire ones. Now you're ready to go. What I like to do is I like to use cloning software. The reason why I like doing that is because that gives me a safety net that's quick. Backing up gives you a safety net as well, but then you also have to take the time to back it up and then the time to restore it back. By cloning it and making it a bootable copy, whether you use Carbon Copy Cloner, whether you use Super Duper, your choice, whatever makes you happy, that way when you do it, you'll have a clone copy, you'll have everything that was on that drive inside your computer mirrored to an external hard drive, and it's bootable. Do that, run that process, and then also boot from that drive to make sure it in fact does work. Because a backup that you can't restore is not a backup. So you get that all done, and then you run all the updates that you would do for your applications and your software against that external drive that you just cloned, not your internal. So every update that you have to do to Photoshop or whatever that is, make sure those are all on there. When those are all done, then run the software, also run the software updates from Apple against it to make sure that OS is up to snuff. And then once you've got that all done and you've tested it and it boots, you can go into System Preferences on your machine and set your machine to boot to the external drive. And then once it boots up, you're going to test all your applications and everything against that drive. If it boots up, it works, happy days are here again. If it doesn't, you unplug the external hard drive and you're right back to the point you are before you got involved. So you never have to worry about, oh my God, I'm all out of service. I can't do anything. I screwed up my machine. It's not like that. You just unplug that USB drive or that FireWire drive, reboot your machine back up again, and you're exactly where you were before you even started. Fix the problems, get the updates, the resolutions that you all need to do to your machine or to your software. Once those are done, reclone the drive again, apply the updates again, test it out. When it works, you know you're good. And you say, I'm happy. Now, once you've done all those things, then you have two options. Option number one is what I do. I'll clone my hard drive again to that external. So now it's the state that my machine is in right now is on that external drive. Then I'll go ahead and apply the updates to the OS and to the applications on my actual machine, and then apply the OS update to it and start working. If everything's going fine, I'm in good shape. But if it comes out that it doesn't work on my internal drive, I can take that drive I have that I just cloned and clone it right back onto my machine, and I haven't lost anything. The second option is you can just leave everything that you've built onto that external with all the updates and all the testing you've done against it, and you can clone it directly back over to your machine that way. That'll work as well. I've done it both ways, but I like the first way better because I have two chances to save my data doing it that way as opposed to the other way, which only gives me one chance. That's pretty much what I do. And once again, two types of people. Are you the one that need to back up or the one that wish they backed up? That's it for me. All right.
All right. Questions?
I can do questions. How much time we got?
We have about 5 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna do 5 minutes of questions, because if we don't do 5 minutes, then we won't have the raffle, so go.
That's right.
Does repair permissions come in anywhere in your program, like before and after you've downloaded the software?
That is a good point. I never really thought that much about it, so I would do a repair permissions prior and do a repair permissions at the end. Next question, sir.
Okay, so I have an older MacBook Pro here,
Yes,
and on my external hard drive, I have a USB input, and just for memory, I think it's a Seagate or Western Digital, one of the two. I also have, in addition to that, it looks like a Ethernet. Okay, so I bought a USB with a USB on either end so it can fit in, and I think I also have an Ethernet. I'm looking at doing like a first hardwire backup, and then after doing that, setting up the time machine for a network backup, automatic network backup, wireless backups. But I think the first time I should do hardwire. It'll be faster and maybe more secure. Which is better, the USB, or should I try Ethernet? I think I have two inputs into my external hard drive.
How old is this drive?
The external
Yes.
is about 4 years.
Okay.
USB 2 at least.
It's probably USB 2.
Yes.
Did you spend a lot of money for this drive?
No, not that. About
Okay,
a little
then
more than $100.
then I really doubt you have an Ethernet port on as the other port on that drive. Most likely it's a FireWire port, perhaps FireWire 800, which is square, looks similar to an Ethernet port, because Ethernet ports are typically on network arrayed storage drives systems. You spend extra money for that Ethernet port. So I would think that you probably have USB and FireWire, which is, this drive is USB and FireWire. I have a FireWire plug on here right currently. If it is FireWire, it is faster than USB, unless it's USB 3, which then is about equal. So if you were going to plug it in and do the backup, if it is truly FireWire, go that route first. That'll be the fastest way to move data, followed by USB, followed by wireless.
And, okay, so just plug them in and just do the manual backup.
You can do a manual backup if you want. You can use Time Machine to back up to that drive as well. Your choice. Are you looking to back up everything or just select files?
Everything to start.
Okay.
Do a time machine.
Time
backup.
Machine. Go into System Preferences, turn on Time Machine, point it to that drive, and have it do the backup.
But
The first backup will, sorry?
But using the hard wire.
Correct. Yep.
And after that's complete, then I can set up automatic backup wirelessly afterwards.
Does the hard drive support wireless? Sorry?
Using my home wireless.
Does your hard drive connect to the wireless network?
Yeah.
If it can connect to the wireless network and you can mount that volume on your desktop via the network, yeah, you can do it that way.
Yeah.
Question, sir.
When you do an OS X upgrade, it fails, is it, when we have those incidents, is it arbitrary and random stuff, or is there some certain kind of a problem when there is a failure that is cropping up? Is there some particular reason, or is it random at preference?
It's very random. I've only had it fail once when I've done something like that with anybody, and the cause of the failure was because they had a power problem in the house.
Okay.
I have seen it where it has also been a hardware issue. I have a MacBook Air 10-inch model, And the only way I can upgrade the operating system on that is to actually pull the SSD out of it, put it in a sled, and then boot it up from another machine and install it that way, because there's a memory issue. Well, the memory is soldered on the board of the Airs and on most of the new Macs as well. So there can be a hardware issue with it as well, but usually it's just a hiccup. So,
And that could be not just in the computer. Someone crashed a drive out of 4 drives they had connected, just one.
Yep.
I thought. I went over there, it turned out it was their USB hub.
sure.
That one didn't go, so it could be definitely hardware.
Any number of
Okay.
things.
So you got one more over there?
We got 2 more questions
All
over
right,
there.
we're going to get those and then we'll go to the drawing.
Go.
You're done backing up your Hadoop drive, say it shuts off your computer, the backup drive is still on. When you shut it off, back up, and unplug it, how soon does it like park the drive so that you pick up the machine and move it? I mean, I know that the plate's spinning real close to the head, so I'm wondering,
Just to interrupt you, back in the old days when you used to have to park drives, it took a while to wait. Traditionally, within 15 to 20 seconds, that drive has stopped spinning. You can pick it up and move it.
so you have to wait 15, 20
That's just
If
me.
you want to be safe, yes.
Yeah, they're a lot more durable
That's
than
why
they
they're
used
going
to
to
be.
SSDs, because you don't have to worry about anything spinning.
Last question right there.
About backups are, how does iCloud and Google Drive fit? This is only for iOS backup?
Currently, they are designed for iOS backups. iCloud in Sierra now will copy your documents folder in your home.